Good afternoon, folks. I just want to do a video that follows on from a blog I made towards the back end of last week on a pattern on the Euro yen that I'd identified. I don't want to go too much into detail on what I was saying because that's up there on the blog already, so you can feel free to read through that on obviously how I came to these decisions. But I highlighted an upper and lower area of support and resistance on what I would expect to happen at those areas. So basically, doing the exercise of giving myself three options on where price could go at those particular areas. Now, at the time, it was around sort of back end of Thursday, Friday time. So it was around this sort of time of the charts that I made the initial blog after seeing this pattern. And what I would have expected to happen, as I mentioned in the blog, was option one was to see price continue to react off this resistance area and move sideways. It's made, the more attempts it makes at this going through this area, I would see that as an indication of the resistance strengthening at that area. That was option one. Option two I mentioned was to see, if I just scroll outside on the chart so I can mark up a few levels. Option two was to see price make a break out of the high of this and continue moving up to the long side, basically giving me a new upwards trend, upwards direction. If price was to do that, I would initially have been looking for some sort of resistance to the upward direction around that area there. That was the previous swing high prior to the pattern setting up that I'd marked. And if price was to carry on going ultimately through that area, there was another couple of swing highs there that could have acted as some form of resistance. But of course, that was something to look at even when scenario two unfolded. The third scenario out of the three, giving myself three options, was to see price once again react off this resistance level, but instead of moving sideways like it was doing for the back end of last week here, I'd be looking for it to move back down to the low of the pattern, to this support area around the 108, 108.50, 108.80, around that sort of area. That's option three that I would have been looking for. As the live data's unfolding, it's had another reaction this morning with this pin bar, this reversal bar off the resistance area. Interestingly, the last two times it's really tried going through this resistance area and reacted, they have also been pin bars there that you can see. So it's just interesting to note this line as a potential resistance area. I mean, you can see it's had quite a large sell-off this morning. I'm not sure whether some of that is news driven or not, but ultimately, as I see it, reacted off a resistance level. Another thing that I noticed, going back a little bit on the charts within the pattern, it's something I only just noticed this afternoon prior to doing the video. I'll scroll back a little bit further. There is some areas here that could be classed as typical reversal bars. I mean, if I was to, which I did, I read through the reversal bar article on Phil's site. We've got certainly a pre-qualifier here of a number of higher lows before ultimately having this two-bar combination at the upper limit of the pattern. And there was something we used to do called bar blending when bars like this occurred on the charts, and it ultimately means that if you were to blend the two bodies of those bars, you get a bar which is similar to that, which essentially is a pin bar, which is what has been happening recently at that area, at the upper area, since sort of last Thursday when price has reacted. So it's got a two-bar combination there with the reversal pre-qualifiers as a pin bar, and ultimately you can see, I mean, it's easy with hindsight, but we can see that price did react off there and made a very sharp move back down towards the low of this pattern. And if I just go back up again through the charts, just before price makes another big sell-off, 2-bar combination with the pre-qualifiers as the reversal bars there. So again, price forming a pin bar there. Now it's not quite at the high of the pattern, it's not too far away, but it's not quite at the high. But again, it's followed by quite a healthy sell-off, ultimately back towards the low and through the low of that pattern. So going back to the live data, I had 2 previous attempts to go through, with the third being today, with a very good example of a bin bar there. Could I see price move back down towards the lower area, lower boundary of this channel throughout the rest of the week? That would be option 3 of my 3 options. It's certainly something I'll be looking towards, but like I said, it's not a pattern to be traded as per the snatch strategy. It was more an exercise for me in identifying key areas on the charts and coming up with some options on what price could possibly do at those areas, just to explain the price action. So ultimately that's what I came up with. It is open to interpretation because it's basically a line of best fit type of pattern that I did. So if you'd like to add anything to that, maybe some comments, criticisms, anything at all, maybe you've got a different view or a different opinion of how I've marked things up, then certainly feel free to in the comment section. Alright guys, have a good day and good afternoon trading, and I'll speak to you later on. Alright guys, bye bye.